Hey, Passion a non-doctor on the internet, and tonight we are coming to you guys live from our studio again, and hopefully you're having an absolutely wonderful Valentine's Day. Didn't think I was going to remember, did you? But it's the 14th. It's Friday. All right, me and my wife, we ate a little bit. We had some good stuff. All right, no dessert, but we had some good stuff. Now, well, I can't tell that lie. We did have chocolate covered strawberries. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is get right to it today. And as you can see, the topic is a little wild today because today I wanted to get into this thing as far as people actually having things available to them and not being able to take advantage of it. And that's kind of bothering me because even if you pay for it, even if you get it free, people are not utilizing it. And that's the problem. And I'm having a big I'm having a big dilemma about why that is happening. Why are things available and people not using them? Why don't people realize that we are living in the age that we're living in? We're living in the age of technology, the age of information. So if that is the case, why aren't people using the information? So I just want to ask that question. But first, let's shout out some people over here in the chat who have been riding with us for, I'm sure, a long time. Okay, so let me see here. Happy Valentine's Day. Greetings, Alvin. Okay, Clementia. All right, Denise Rutherford, first one in there. Very good. All right, who else I got in here? I got Blue Fox. I got Raymond Presley. I got a girl with two dreams. What? That is a name right there. Okay, Angelique K. We got Denise says, so glad you're feeling better. I am, Denise. I am feeling. I wasn't necessarily feeling bad. I still have my energy. It was just I had the scratchy throat and then the congestion came. But of course, because the immune system kicked in, I wasn't missing any work or anything like that. Even though I believe it was a flu because that's what's going around in my institution. Okay, so I'm good. I'm over it. I feel great now. Okay, so even the congestion is gone and it usually lingers for me. So I'm happy about that. Norma says, happy Valentine's Day. Back at you, Norma. Okay, we got Blue Fox 12 in the house. All right, Mike McGregor, Carl, Tamika Edwards. All right, so this is good. All right, see, so a girl with two dreams says it's me, Shinya. All right, she's on here. Okay, Fairies Online Marketplace unboxing. What's up, dog? All right, Sharon Sport, your corner, always riding deep with me. All right, I love it. Okay, Tanya Barber in the house says hello. All right, we got over 20 people in here already. So if you guys have not already, hit that like button and we can get started this evening. Okay, so I am going to answer some questions, but let me get to my topic first. So, because that's what I got right up here behind me. Now, in the beautiful Valentine's Day colors. Behind me, you guys will see a question. And the question is, why are hospital patients worse than drug addicts? Oh my, provocative title. I know. And I asked that question because I want you all to answer it. I want you to speculate on it, but not right now. All right. I just want to know right now, what are you guys planning on doing for Valentine's Day? Give me a little short description. I want to hear about what you guys are doing. I want to see if anybody in here is into the grand gesture. Is anybody in here willing to take it the extra mile? I'm afraid I'm traditional. You know, me and the wife, we go out to eat. We have our little dessert, the chocolate covered strawberries, that kind of thing, and then the other kind of dessert, but we're gonna leave that alone. Okay, now let's see if you guys over here have done anything that is just a little bit different. All right, I don't care what it is. Just let me know. What are you gonna do? I don't celebrate pagan holidays. Oh man, we're just taking it a little too far right now. All right, she says study. When you're in school, you got to. I know the holidays don't matter when you got to study. I know, I do too. I study on my own. So too tired. I'm not doing nothing. All right, movies later. Okay, so Angelique is going to see the movies. Angelique, what are you going to see? Is it going to be something good? I'm really trying to get to the movies because this weekend so I can see Just Mercy. I want to see Jamie Foxx and Michael B. Jordan try to tear it up on screen. I really want to see that. Okay, I love it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and remember when we get into this and we get to it, I'm going to ask you guys this very question that's behind me. But I just want to make sure, I just want to get it in, see what you guys are doing for the holiday. To me, it's worth it. All right. Some people think it is. However, I don't need a holiday to show anybody that I love them. Okay. So that's the way I feel about it. But we got to celebrate sometimes just to let you know one day is different than the other. Okay. So sometimes you do. Now, here we go. We're going to talk about this. Now, as far as my topic back here, I'm pretty upset about this because people don't realize what's at their fingertips and they don't realize what resources they have available to them. And it's almost like when you buy a house and you know nothing about the Jeremiah program. You know nothing about first time homeowner perks. You see, there's a program out there called the Nehemiah program that will actually give you money to put down on your house if you are buying a house for the first time. They will also, if you're a first time home buyer, take some money off of the price of the house and you will get it subsidized so that you can afford the house. All right. So there are a lot of things out there. That is for a house. Going to medicine, people have the biggest research library in the history of humanity called Google. And they Google things online. They can look up things online. They can execute on those things. And they can surely find someone, find something, find some article, find some program, find some protocol that will help them to get rid of diabetes, get rid of cancer, get rid of leukemia, get rid of whatever you have. And they got there's not one cure to anything. There's just a whole host and bevy of choices that we have out there, but people don't take advantage of them. Now, I'm gonna go a little bit deeper on this because this is what pisses me off. Okay. Now, my program is expensive, okay, to most people. All right. Now, the people that actually buy my program, they didn't think it was expensive at all. All right. Now, when I was selling my program, and I still am right now, to get rid of and eliminate reverse diabetes, right? Now, when I did that and I'm selling the program, I realized that most people who actually fill out the application, they give us a call or I give them a call. Some people did not answer the phone. Guess it wasn't that important. All right. Your life. You said it was important in the form, but then it's not important when we call you. Then when you get people on the phone, oh, yes, it sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds good. And then they want to know how much. Well, this is the problem. I don't give a damn how much if my life is involved. What are you going to do with the money you saved if you pass away? It doesn't make any sense. See, this is your life. But if the government magically says, like they have, that you are required to have health insurance, somehow you come up with the extra money. When your child is in jail, you somehow come up with the extra money. But when it comes to your health, nobody gives a damn. Everybody's broke then. Nobody can be resourceful anymore. Nobody can come up with the money. Now, I'm not saying that for anybody to buy the program. I'm saying that because our priorities are way messed up. And that's why I'm a little disappointed in people who have all this knowledge. Now, whether you get it from me, whether you get it from David Avocado Wolf, whether you get it from Dr. Mark Hyman, whether you get it from Dr. John Bergman, I don't care where you get the information. It could be free. You could pay for it. I don't care. I pay for stuff that could be found free online, but it's not about that. It's about going, meeting people, actually talking to people who are actually doing it. And it's a lot different experience than what you would get online. However, when you guys are looking for information, it's out there. So why are people getting sicker? Why are the diabetes rates only going up? Why is breast cancer only going up? We're getting screened and we're getting tested, but why is it always going up? Why is autism always going up? See, the trends keep going upward, but our health keeps going downward. And it seems like nobody cares. It seems like nobody gives a damn about themselves, but they'll do everything and anything to get home and watch a series on Netflix. Doesn't it seem like the priorities are messed up? I mean, I know you guys I'm talking to the choir. I'm preaching to the choir here. All right. So I'm sure you guys have done a fantastic job as far as letting this be known, letting this be like a part of your lifestyle as far as getting better. And if you can do that on your own, do it on your own. However, some of us need help. Like, I'm not going to say I'm going to get into real estate and I'm going to learn all the stuff myself when I could just pay a small fee to somebody who's already been real estate investing for 10 years, making millions of dollars. And I pay a small fee, $2,000, $5,000, and I pay that. And then all of a sudden now I am light years ahead of somebody trying to start from the bottom and work their way up. So and that's a steep learning curve. But if you got somebody guiding you through each step and helping you avoid mistakes and getting that out of the way, that's what I say you got to do. However, most people don't think like that. See, I'm a progressive thinker. I'm what they call a growth mindset individual. See, if I don't have it, I'll get it. Okay. It doesn't matter if I don't have it now. I'll learn it. I'll pay for it. I'll get the tool. I'll do whatever, but I'll learn how to do it. See, and most people, they're like, well, if I wasn't born that way, I guess it wasn't meant to happen. That's what they call a fixed mindset. And a fixed mindset never gets anything done. Thus the question, why are hospital patients worse than drug addicts? Now, I'm going to ask over here in the chat that very question. Why do you guys think I put that up there? What's the answer to you all? What would make a regular going, nice, tax-paying, church-going person who actually goes to the hospital and gets the pills from the doctor and follows the doctor's orders and things like that? All right, now we're talking about metabolic disease here. What would make that person worse than a skeevy, low-down, dirty, in the gutter drug addict? Okay, so let me know why you think I would ask that question. Okay, so let's get some answers over here in the chat. Let's spice this up on Valentine's Day. All right, since it's pagan, let's make it evil. Come on, baby. All right, I'm just kidding. All right, so don't break out your Bibles on me. Here we go. Now, over here, Sharon's throwing in the first answer. Hey, Doc, Frenchie, I see you. L. Lewis, I see you in here. So Sharon says, because they are too dependent on doctors who can't really help them. And for doctors, no, she is exactly right. They can't help you. But see, I disagree with a surgeon, because a surgeon is usually going to do a surgery that is required to save your life right now to keep you alive. That's the only reason I advocate for a hospital, because that's the only time, or that's the only thing that a hospital was ever built for: an emergency, an acute emergency, immediate onset that's happening right now. That's why you go to the hospital. However, when you have a chronic metabolic disease, diabetes, cancer, leukemia, lupus, any of those things, those are chronic and they are long-term diseases that will kill you over time. Now, if that's the case, the hospital is the worst place you can go to. But here's the thing. When she is exactly right when she says they can't help you. And it's not because they don't want to, it's because they're not trained to. Doctors in medical schools are backed by pharmaceutical companies. They have an incentive to push you a drug, even when no drug is necessary. So now doctors, they can do their thing. I'm not out here to put doctors out of work. You know why? Because without them, I wouldn't be able to do this, because the people who come to me know how effed up they are. And now they are trying to come to me last minute for some help. And I do that. However, if they had come to me first or a lot sooner, then I wouldn't have to be fighting against their prescription. I wouldn't have to fight against their doctor's orders, because the way the law works, if somebody comes to me with a problem, I can't take you off your medication. I can't recommend that you do that. I know how you do it, but I can't recommend that you do it, because it's against doctor's orders. And therefore, in most states, it's against the law. All right. Talk about some Nazi Germany shit. Okay, but that's the way it is. So I, as a medical professional, an anatomy and physiology instructor, a person who would actually teach a doctor what he needs to know in order to go to medical school so they can do the practical work in medical school to make this happen. A medical researcher who actually does experiments on myself. People have tried my protocols and 100% of the time they have worked. Okay, never once has anybody came back to me and says it got worse. All right. Those people who do say that, they have come to me too late and I couldn't recommend anything for them because there's nothing you can do. Okay. So I refuse to step in at the last minute and then have somebody try to blame me for their family member or somebody passing away. If you got a chance, I'll help you. But if you don't and you're trying to look for somebody to blame, I'm not going to help you because that only leads to trouble. I'm a good-hearted individual. I would never do anything. You don't know how many people have bought a program from me and I have returned their money because I didn't feel right about them not getting a certain result that I thought they should get. Now, did I have to give back the money? No. Did they ask back for the money? No. But did I give them back the money? Yes, because that means that they didn't feel that it was fair for them. I don't know if it was working. They could have just been trying to get over on me, but that's just not the kind of person I am. I'm not going to take you to court and be like, I need to keep your money because you told me you were going to buy this, and I think you should let me keep the money because you signed this contract. That's corporate bullshit. I don't do that. Okay. If you don't feel right about it, take your money and then we can part ways. We don't have to do business anymore. I'm going to be as honest and as forthright as I can when I'm trying to help somebody get to a result. That's why I am so hell bent on people getting results in my diabetes course. That's why I like to do the lives in the diabetes course. That's why I like to come in and answer questions because I don't want to leave you by yourself. So one of the people, and I don't do this for everybody, but one of the people in my diabetes course, she actually has my personal cell phone number so she can contact me should she ever have any problems or need to ask me any questions. And I'm fully going to be there because that's the kind of commitment I have in order to get something done for somebody for a specific disease. Okay, that's how deep it has to go. But most people are just like cool with the topical addresses of the doctor just slanging pills at you like a dealer at the casino table, and then all of a sudden, boom. Okay. So let's find out. All right, Cynthia Freeman in the house. Cynthia, welcome in. Okay, I got some more replies over here. I was just talking so we could actually get some in here. Frenchie says, people don't do their own research and blindly follow everything that a doctor tells you, never questioning. See, that's the thing. You can let them tell you whatever you want, but it's always, it's mandatory to question. Always. Because they will give you information. And because most doctors are so arrogant, they don't even think you'll go look up any information. It's because they said it, and it is the edict of a doctor, and that is the final word. They don't think you will ever listen, go do any research, go look it up online. And then when you do look something online and bring it into the office, don't bring that crap into my office. I'm a trained doctor. How dare you bring your own information about your own body into my office? Jerk off. All right, so let's see here. I agree with you, Frenchie. That's right. All right, so we got it in here. Now, docs and pharmacy are in bed together making money. Well, of course they are. They have to be. One is backing the other, and then when one hand washes the other one washes it back. That's what they got that term from. So Cynthia is absolutely correct on this one, and she knows she had to. She went through all this stuff, figured that her diabetes was not getting any better doing what people prescribed or told her. And then she had to make her own protocol. And guess what? She got rid of her diabetes. And I could have swore, but I don't think Cynthia is a physician. How does she do that? I thought you had to go through college and learn how to push pills and do surgeries in order to heal yourself of a chronic condition. Isn't that right? Isn't that what they tell you? Yeah, they do. All right, so here we go. So true, Miss Freeman. Look at that. All right. So let me see. Wait a minute. The hospital is getting paid to keep you sick to come back, and that's how they get their money. Blue Fox, let me see. Blue Fox 12, you have never said truer words. That's what they literally call a racket. It's so everything you buy, medical product in the store, it's designed to break down so that you have to come back and buy another one. In the product world, it's called planned obsolescence. It's when you plan to build something because you know certain parts will wear out on it, and therefore the person has to now buy another one. We can make products that last forever, are made like 50 years, but because they can keep, think about this, they can keep a candy bar on the shelf for 10 years without it rotting, without any bugs, any maggots, anything forming in it. And 10 years later, you'll eat it and it'll be the same taste on year 10 than it was on day one. Now, you can't tell me you can't build a cell phone that can't last 30, 40, 50 years and just update the software. But then they couldn't charge you $1,000 a pop to play with your fucking Galaxy, could they? Right. So if that is the case, then we are literally on purpose falling for the okie doke. Okay, so we are signing up for our own suicide. And I have to say it that way because in medicine, you're really, I mean, in real time, taking your life in your hands by taking drugs from the doctor. Think about that. You're going there for help, but in the meantime, shortening your life. All right. So I know I got on here a little late. I know some people, there's usually more people on here, but it doesn't matter how many people we got. I know it's Valentine's Day. I know people are out to dinner. They're buying candy. They're doing the relations. All right. But we are actually going to get to the people who are actually on here, and let's see what we got. Susan H says, I got my blood work back from the labs. Please explain the MCHC. It says that it's low, 29.8. Also explain the iron saturation, that is low, 22, and alkaline phosphate, it's 108. Okay, so she's got these. I know the other two, the MCHC. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know what that abbreviation. There's so many abbreviations in medicine. MCHC, blood test. There you go. All right. So see this Google stuff, it works. Okay. So let me see. No. Don't tell me that. What does it stand for? Okay. Corpuscular hemoglobin concentration. Ooh. All right. Oh, that explains the whole thing. All right. So what you just told me, I love it. Okay. So Susan, was that Susan? Susan H. All right. So Susan, the saturation, they're talking about the corpuscular saturation of hemoglobin on your blood. Well, guess what? That makes sense because the next thing you said was, it says that your iron saturation is low and your alkaline phosphate is low. Those all have to do with your blood or the plasma. The alkaline part is the plasma of your blood that is floating in. Well, that phosphate is those are energy units. So that's ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Once you break one of those phosphates off, you now have a phosphate alkaline floating in your blood that you're going to use, that you broke the bond to get the energy out of. Now, as far as the iron saturation, iron is required on your blood cell. The red blood cell is a circular flat disc that floats through your body. It carries oxygen and nutrients on both sides of it. Hemoglobin, blood, the nutrients and oxygen don't stick to it without iron. It's like iron is a magnet and the nutrients just stick to it and carry it to where it's supposed to go. But without the magnet, the iron, that guess what? Nothing is attracted to your red blood cells and therefore they're circulating for nothing. So now you told me the problem, but I don't know. That's exactly what's going on. And that goes with the corpuscular saturation because when we talk about the corpuscles, your cells that these blood cells are going to be delivered to, when you talk about those, when you're trying to get energy into the cell, if there's nothing to drop off, of course the numbers are going to be low. Okay, but this doesn't tell me anything but a reading. This tells me the state of how your blood exists. I want to know how it got there. That's the big question. Why is this happening? So if you have any clue as to that, I would love to know your opinion on what you believe is happening, because I could see the story here, but I can't tell you why that would be happening. This just tells me the state of your blood. It doesn't tell me why it happened to your blood. Okay, so just all right. So let me see. Yes, question everything. That is correct. Okay, Blue Fox 12 says if they really help you. Wait a minute. Let me see. Oh no, it's going on for no reason. Dang it. All right, now let me see. If they really help you, then how would they get paid and how would they have patience? Exactly. See, Blue Fox, when they said questioning, Clementina says question everything. And then right here, Blue Fox is questioning it. So he actually says, if they really help you, then why do they get paid? That they wouldn't get paid if they didn't have any patience. That's true, because if they tell you to go home, change your diet, and start supplementing, and you get better, there's no money coming into the office. So it's in my best interest. The system is set up this way. It's in my best interest to recommend that you take this drug. It's in my best interest to give you a sample to get you addicted to it so you'll come back and fill the prescription. It's in my best interest to recommend a surgery, even if you don't quite need one, because surgery will pay my office more than a simple doctor visit. See, it's built into the system to put you in debt. So you now have to do things, and the key word, have to do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do to other human beings in order to make money to pay back a debt that you shouldn't have had in the first place. It's kind of dangerous out there. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at more of your comments. I'm loving this. This is really good. Now, it says, I love your personality. Clementina, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Cynthia's in here answering questions. So Cynthia's gotten back to Jeff Haynes, Clementina, and Frenchie. Man, she is a monster on this keyboard. She is killing it in here. Cynthia, I'm going to have to give you a raise. All right. So LL Lewis, that's so messed up. So LL, you're right. It is. It's super messed up. But that's the state that we live in. Now, I heard some of you answer this question that I had back here on the board. Now, let me give you my perspective on this question. Okay. Why are hospital patients worse than a drug addict? Now, I want to get into this. Okay. Now, why are drug addicts better in my scenario, in my twisted mind? Why are they better? Well, think about this. A drug addict knows they're an addict. They steal to get the money for their addiction. So they know full well what they're doing. Okay. A drug addict will take that money, go to the dealer, buy drugs, but they know exactly what the drug is going to do to them. Okay. They get high, they get blasted out of their mind, and they get that addiction to that drug, but they know they're going to get addicted to it. All right. Maybe not initially, but after that, they know the general circumstances of this. They know their skin is going to look messed up. They know they might have to turn tricks, do sexual favors in order to get more money or more drugs to support their habit. They know what they're signing up for, and they're comfortable living in a crack den, living in the gutter, begging for money, stealing from other people who are working hard. And why do they do all of this? To support a habit, but they know exactly what the habit is doing to them. Now, let's take on the other hand, our tax-paying, church-going, upstanding, going to school, going to church American citizen. Now, our American citizens know the statistics. You can look them up anywhere on YouTube. Go to, not YouTube, it's Google. And you can go to Google Scholar if you want to find the medical articles on it. So you got your mind together. You go to a place where the statistics show you, the hospital, that people get worse. So they are worse off when they come out than when they go in. Exception is surgery, okay? But they're worse when they come out than when they go in. You then enter this place, you sign up, you let the doctor do his assessment. He swears he knows your whole situation after knowing you for 15 minutes, okay? Then he's going to give you drugs that will alter your physiology, all right? But he's telling you it's going to do one thing, and it might stop your headache. But they read a list of side effects where you know it's going to mess you up. And your response is, okay, what? You listen to what he said. He told you it'll help you sleep 16 minutes longer. I just read an article on that about sleeping pills. It'll help you sleep 16 minutes longer. But the side effects are headache, nausea, diarrhea, increased bleeding. You might become a hemophiliac, increased heart rate. heart murmur, some brain interference, nervous system interference. You're willing to try to get 16 minutes more sleep, which makes no difference, in exchange for a list of side effects. And then you have the nerve to act like he didn't say it at all. That's why you know better, but you did it anyway. That's why I say that hospital patients are worse than drug addicts. That's a hell of a thing to overlook. That's just like saying, if you go down Fifth Street, your child, there's no traffic, your child will probably never get hit by a car going down Fifth Street. But if you go over to Aria Parkway and you let your kids play in the street, it's almost guaranteed that your kid is going to get run over and you're going to be without child. And you say, as a parent, well, I'll just let the kid pick. All right, just whichever one you want, Junior, just go ahead, go for it. Okay. Now, that makes you super irresponsible. I'm going to put the same blame on you for this. Okay. So, yes. Okay. Now, there you go. Now, wait a minute. Here's a girl with two dreams says, hospital patients are giving drugs that may not be good for them versus addicts who take drugs knowing that they're good for them. The difference is knowing what kills you versus knowing what kills you versus not knowing what kills you. There you go. All right. So, and that's the thing. The addict is willing to take that risk, but they know the risk. All right. Here, the American citizen knows the risk, knows something is going to go wrong, but does it anyway. Wow. Okay. Now I'm going to take a short break here. We're going to plug this in the description below. If you guys like what we're doing, I want you guys to actually contribute to the channel. It's not a Patreon. All right. You're going to go to my website. And if you guys want to help us with this disease reversing information, and you want to just support us each and every month, I want to just ask you guys to give a small donation on a monthly basis so that we can do more research, so we can help more people. All right. And I'm not trying to build more programs. I'm pretty much set on what I want to do. Okay. I got a few that I want to stick with, and I want to handle the biggest that are affecting Americans today. And that's what we're going to do. So if you guys want to kind of get with it, then that's cool. All right. But if you guys are not trying to roll with us, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I'm just kidding. So some of you are like, Al, what did I do? Come on. All right. No, you don't have to leave. All right. I am not like that. It's no hard feelings. If you guys can't support, hey, there's no hard feelings. Come in here and still contribute like you've always done. Me and Cynthia are going to be here. However, if you guys want to help us out, you want to help do something that's going to be supportive, something that's going to be actually make a difference in the lives of real Americans. And I don't care what color you are. All right. You can be black, you can be Indian, you can be Asian, you can be give me some more, Serbian, Russian, German. I don't care. All right. So even if you got any kind of hang-ups, fetishes, whatever you deal in, we're not going to discriminate. Okay. Whatever you want to do is up to you, but I'm trying to help everybody get well if I can. Okay. So there we go. Let's see. Sharon's Forestry Corner says, so true. I'm now weaning my autistic son off the medication because it's long and dangerous side effects and they didn't tell me about it. See, I just don't understand how you can prescribe something and not give everybody the full list of what is going on. And I'm just guessing here, but I'm betting she saw that on a television commercial, or she read the package insert, which actually has this. When you do it, it's a little bitty square piece of paper they give you in the drugs. But when you unfold that son of a gun, it is like, oh my, oh, damn. All right. All the way to the floor. You're reading all these side effects like, really? And this is for my kid? And it's going to do all this? All this? Yeah, so yes, it is. All right. So Raymond says, so many people have died from lack of medical knowledge. Now that's because it goes both ways. You have to know what's severe and what's chronic. Chronic, no hospital. All right. Severe, you go to the hospital. Why? Because if it's acute and it's threatening your life right now, you have to go to the hospital because you could be dead tomorrow, next week. All right. It's too soon. So a natural remedy can help that fast, but depending on what it is, like if you're bleeding out internally, there's nothing we can do about that. They have to go in and open you up and clamp off arteries, clamp off veins, and repair the problem so that you live. All right. That is what a hospital is built for. But us, we are not. The hospital is not built to get rid of your chronic long-term cancer, your chronic long-term diabetes, the things that are taking out people nowadays. You go to the hospital so they can feed you medicine. Now, we used to think AZT for HIV was like one of the best things you could ever do. People were trying to steal AZT off the medical truck when it was coming to the hospitals because they thought that that was the one of like better than sliced bread. They had a whole TV push and this big, huge promotional campaign for AZT and what it was going to do to get rid of or manage your HIV for the rest of your life. And they were happy about that because they knew that the patients would have to take it for the rest of their life. However, what they didn't tell them was that AZT killed them faster. People got so wrapped up in the marketing that they didn't realize that AZT would kill you faster than actually having the age just run its course. All right. Now, did people live longer? Yes, because their immune system kicked in, not because of that crap drug they call AZT that was out there on the market killing people. If you guys have never seen it, I'm telling you, I've said this probably once like 6 months ago or something like that. There's a movie called The Dallas Buyers Club. Matthew McConaughey stars in this movie, and it shows how he's trying to fiend to get this AZT, and he's buying it out of the back of a hospital. And then all of a sudden, he finds he's almost dead. All right, he's passing out, he's fainting, he's like 6 months away from death. Well, he then is taken to he leaves the country because he finds out about this holistic or something that can help, right? And so he goes to Mexico, falls out, and it just so happens a doctor, based on a true story, one of the Mexican doctors over there brought him to this small Mexican hospital and just pumped him full of high-dose vitamin C. And all of a sudden, his symptoms were all gone. The lesions on his face were all gone. The muscle tone came back. He started getting a little meat on his bones. How did he do that? Well, it's because when you put nutrients to your body, you're giving your body the ammunition it needs to kill an invader called an antigen that enters your body and tries to do harm to you. Well, that's what we need at this time for any chronic disease, not just HIV, anyone. So this man who was told he has 6 months to live goes on living another 41 years. I think he died when he was like 81, something like that. He died when he was 81 years old. I think that was the number. And after that, he lives 40 something more years after that. So I just have to tell you, are we doing the right things? Are we doing the right things? Are people willing to listen to healthy, holistic protocols and education in order to make themselves better? Or does how good your food tastes, will you allow that to kill you? I wonder. Because some people, I just don't think you get it. I think what you like is you like to eat the food, you like to think it's healthy, or you like to talk yourself into believing that a Krispy Kreme donut is kind of good for you, right? I mean, it's fresh, right? Whatever the hell that means. They cooked it. It's not fresh. It's dead. Okay. I don't care how good it tastes. It's dead. All right. But people don't get that. Okay. You don't get to be a healthy, walking around, wiping your own butt, walking up your own stairs, folding your own clothes, washing your own clothes, cleaning your own house, 90-year-old. You don't get that by abusing yourself. You know what you get from abusing yourself with Twinkies, hot dogs, tacos, ho-hos, conchas, okay, Twinkies, zingers, ding-dongs, the Hostess cupcakes. You know what you get from that? You get a wheelchair. You get crutches. You get dialysis. You get amputations. You get relegated to hospice, and you get a coffin early. Now, I am not saying that to scare anybody. I'm saying it because it's happening. It's true. That's what's going to happen to you if you keep on down this road. Because you know how I know? Because what used to happen to 80-year-olds is now happening to 50-year-olds. That's how I know. The stats just keep moving forward. My brother had a stroke at 36. He is 41 now. Thank goodness he is still alive. However, 36 to have a stroke, autism when you come out of the womb, that's fair. All because mom and dad both have a toxic system and they came together and produced a baby. And now the baby who has not lived one day on this planet, now that baby has to suffer with at least 237 chemicals in their umbilical cord, thus their blood. And they haven't lived one day on the planet. Is that fair? I don't know. Okay, so let's see here. So yes, Cynthia says it's all for profit. It's wow. Just goes to show you, don't, wait a minute, it skipped on me, dang it. Don't trust everything that people tell you. You have to research. And that's what I actually tell people. I have to tell you to do your own research because I don't want to be one of the talking heads that you just listen to and you take everything that comes out of my mouth as gospel, because what I said 2 years ago won't be true today. What I said 4 years ago won't be true today. So that's why I have to keep on doing research, because things change. I can't just say, oh, it worked that way then, so it'll work this way now. It doesn't work that way. It's constantly research. It's constant education to keep yourself up on things that other people are missing. That's why my protocol for diabetes is so extensive, because all I see on the internet is improve your diet and get enough sleep and go to your doctor and get regular checkups. That's the protocol they give on WebMD and what's the other one? Mayo Clinic and Healthline for getting rid of your diabetes. All right. Now, on top of that, on all these websites, they talk about metformin and glimepiride and all the other drugs you can use, the painkillers and the ACE inhibitors and the beta blockers that help the blood flow and break down the fat so that you can gastric bypass so you can lose weight artificially, and that'll help get rid of your diabetes. Well, it's true. If you lose weight, your diabetes the symptoms tend to subside. However, you still got diabetes, because diabetes is not a function of having weight on you. Diabetes is a function of you toxifying your pancreas. And because it's a dense organ, it's hard to flush it out. And because you don't want to spend the time to do that, then guess what happens? You now have diabetes and you're going to keep it. And no matter how much weight you lose, because you didn't clean any impurities out of your pancreas. And what you have to do. It takes longer to clean out your thyroid and your pancreas because those are dense organs. And because they have so much surface area, what would take you to get rid of, like in your heart, in your skin, in your muscles, what would take 48 hours in those for your pancreas, it would take 15, 20 days. That's how dense the organ is. For your liver, a little bit differently. Your liver is like a super organ. It's the most regenerative organ you have. You can beat it to death and you just take care of it for a little while and it'll bounce all the way back to normal. Even if you drank it to death for 10 years, take care of it for 1 year, it'll come all the way back to normal. And here's the thing about your liver, maybe even 6 months. That's how regenerative it is. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, we got some comments here. Let me see this one. B14 Life says, correct, Cynthia. People need to speak more on the topic. It just can't fall on the small few people like Alvin and them. Then if something happens to them, no one speaks out. So more are scared to help. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. And that's what they counted on with the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, with Malcolm X, being that this is Black History Month. I love it. Okay, so that kind of stuff. So if you guys take a look at what they're saying as far as referring to history here, that's what they always do. They always try to take out the people who are speaking out about it, Nipsey Hussle, people who were Nipsey was actually going to come out publicly with case studies and medical reports, and he had doctors, he had things lined up that he was going to release that actually proved and showed beyond a shadow of a doubt that you could get rid of a disease this way, you could treat a disease this way, you could actually do other protocols besides medicine, which was poisoning people and making their health worse. Well, you see what happens to our heroes. Nipsey ends up getting gunned down in front of a store that his own store that he founded in a neighborhood that he was trying to give back to. That's what kind of skeevish stuff is going on. However, when you get on the news, they didn't say it, but they insinuated that it might be gang related. because he's a black man with dreads. That's the conclusion you jump to. Okay, so Dr. Sebi, I don't think he died of natural causes. I think something happened to him because he was very healthy and he was still very coherent at the end of his life. He was still getting up and doing things. Now, I can't say that anybody took him out. I can't say that anything happened because I don't know. I can't make speculation about that. But it seems odd that he would pass away when he looked so healthy and he was doing what he was loved and he had so many things planned into the future. It just didn't make sense. So that's all I'm saying. It didn't make sense. But that's the thing. I want you guys to know something, though. I'm going to make this declaration right here, right now. If I come up missing, if anything happens to me, all right, I want you to know I have a perfect driving record, okay? I want you to know when I fly on airplanes, I have never gone crazy. I have never tried to rush the cockpit. I have never died in a plane accident. So if that ever happens to me, you probably know that something foul happened to me, all right? So I don't get involved in gang violence. There's never going to be any drugs in my system. So if they say I was a secret drug addict, BS, okay? So just to let you guys know, just in case something happens, okay, you all know that it's not ever going to be me. I'm going to be me until the end, and I'm not going to change what I do because I love my life, I love my wife, and I love everything that I do for everybody on this planet. So, but like I said, I don't want the medical system to go away because without them, I don't have a job. It's always a side. There's always a yin and a yang to it. Now, we are smaller people doing what we do. So, and I'm not trying to become a conglomerate so I can be like this huge corporation, and now we can do to them what they did to us. I'm not trying to do all that. I'm trying to help guide people who want to be helped. Who, if you ask me, I'll help you. If you don't ask me, good luck to you, and there are no hard feelings. I just hate the sentiment on the internet nowadays that if you don't follow me, then F you. You're not worth it. I'm not going to talk to you. Just unfriend me. Just leave. I never want to see you again. No. All right. It's not like that. Okay. If you don't want to follow me, cool. All right. Go on about your business. But if you do want to get involved with this thing with me and Cynthia and helping people and getting better and getting well and reversing diseases, that's what we do. So, and we're going to speak to the heart of those people. We're going to get those people. Okay, so very good. David Poulton says, stay away from pastries altogether because they are poisonous. Agreed. The effects are mild. However, I used to live on pastries as my main course. Really? I haven't heard that one before. That was donated to me, and it landed me with medical bills. And now, listen to this. Just pastries. Now, think if at the same time, David was not only doing pastries, he was taking an over-the-counter medication. Every time he got a sniffle, he put drugs in his body. Every time he got a cold, he put drugs into his body. Every time he got a flu, he was doing drugs. Every time he got a migraine headache, he was taking pills. And on top of that, he might not even be on this chat right now because of that. Okay, so, look at this. All right, Cynthia said 1000% agree on that one. Yes. Okay. You're surrounded and protected by a higher power. I love it, Cynthia. And you know what? I accept it. Okay, I have to accept it. I love it. Okay, so Raymond. Okay, yeah. Okay, so he's talking to Raymond on that one. Gotcha. I'm an excellent investigator. It better not happen. All right, Cynthia, I love it. So, see, it feels amazing when people actually have your back and you don't have to worry about people backstabbing you and stuff like this when you know that they're on your side. I love it. Thank you, Cynthia, and thank you all for your kind words, for your love when you come into the chat. You guys are fantastic, so I just want you to know that. Very good. Okay, good. Okay, now I actually wanted to get some more comments on you guys from this question because two of you all answered really good and really extensively on this question: why are hospital patients worse than drug addicts? And I actually want to hear some more about that. But here's the dilemma that I have. Okay, this is the dilemma. At times, it creeps into my mind, and I have to ask myself, why do I continue to help people if they don't want to be helped? Because what I'm doing is I'm looking at the world the way everybody else is looking at the world, which is why I asked myself that question. And when you look at the world, meaning that you see the world through social media, you see the world through the internet, you see the world through television. When you look at the world that way, news, news stories, channels, they tend to try to veer your mind in a certain direction so that you think the way they want you to think. And when it appears that everybody's fat and everybody's obese and everybody has health problems and everybody's struggling and suffering and clawing and trying to get to their best self, but they just can't do it. You see, just what do they call it? Unprecedented numbers of depression, unprecedented numbers of heart disease. When you see these numbers, you hear these numbers, when you look at the shows, when you view the documentaries, when all of this comes together, you have to realize that when these people are putting this out there, it makes it seem like the world is in a crisis. In essence, putting you in a fear-based mode so you'll respond in the way that the system was designed to make you respond. And that's not what we do as free-thinking human beings. You're not an automaton. You're not a person who randomly takes orders from a higher brain. You're a person who thinks for yourself, and occasionally you want to put habits, good ones, into your subconscious so you automatically run on those, not what somebody programmed or told you to do. If you listen to what television says, which is why people are all scared about the coronavirus, if you listen to what people said about that, then if you get scared, your immune system drops. If you get scared, when the authority comes in, you'll do whatever they say. And if you're scared, you'll give away your privacy. I don't do shit like that. I am a free-thinking, independent human being. Things will go wrong, things will go right. We'll deal with that. But the problem is, most people out there are only as good as the next crisis. When something bad happens, everybody panics, thinking goes out the window, mob mentality takes over, and now people can't be bothered to think for themselves. All of a sudden, when the shit hits the fan, you don't know what to do. But you've always known what to do. The answers are always in here. You're just looking outside because you're scared of what you might tell you. The thing about this is you all have to make decisions about your own life for your own life and stop letting people tell you what's good. If they put a television commercial on television showing you how great a hamburger looks, oh, look at the meat, it's cooked perfectly, it's spray paint. Look at the lettuce, it's so green. It's green paint, okay? Look at the tomatoes, they're rubber. Oh, look at the sauce dripping off of there. It's art studio paint. Look at the bun and how perfect the sesame seeds are on there. They're actually tiny pearls made to look like sesame seeds. The bread is actually cloth. It doesn't look that good. It's not that good. But they'll show you that in commercial. But what does it really look like when you go to the restaurant? It's a pile of dog mess. And some of you, you're okay with that. You're okay with letting people tell you what you should eat and how good it is. Let me tell you this, a hamburger's not good. I could taste the chemicals in it. The Twinkies, they're not good. Most of the cereals, they're not good. It's processed sugar. I can taste it. When you eat healthy, you taste the junk. They can't fool you anymore. But a lot of you live on taste. You're a red hot Cheetos eating fiend. And you're proud of it. You like having the red fingertips. You like your lips being red. Stick out your tongue. It's red. But does it feel that good after it burns away your esophagus, after it puts holes in your stomach? I got young students at school who have holes in their stomach, teenagers with holes in their stomach because they're eating junk every day. Don't forget, the additives, chemicals, and preservative of today are not the same ones when I was young. They're worse. They're more powerful. They stay longer and they are more caustic. They will kill you over time. That's where all our chronic diseases come from. Keep putting that load on your liver and see what happens. Keep putting that load on your pancreas and see what happens. Poke holes with this caustic, acidic food into your digestive system and see, can't you absorb nutrients, and you start suffering of malnutrition. Leaky gut. Sounds innocuous, doesn't it? But is it? I don't think so. All right, so let's get back to answering a few questions here, because I had to get a little bit into it with some of you all, because some of you don't believe this can happen. If you missed this, you guys will watch the video. It doesn't matter. All right, you'll watch it. So let's go ahead and get started here. And what do we got? Marcus Macon in the house. All right, Marcus. Marcus, my big cousin is in here. He said, preach it. But listen here, I got that from him. All right. So he is actually a preacher, and he actually knows how to throw down the word. But I'm just doing it on the medical side, trying to do it a little bit better. Okay. So for the medical people. Okay. So toxins. Sorry, it's sarcasm. Andrew, I know. You didn't even have to put that. I knew what you were talking about. So it says they sound like they're killing us with food. Frenchie, you have never been more correct. Now, and when I say killing you with food, I mean even the healthy stuff that you eat is killing you. Okay? Because I can actually if I have a big 2-pound bag of sugar, I can slap fat-free right on the front of it. Outside of my body, it is fat-free. But when it goes into your body, what's the first thing excess sugar is converted to? Fat. All right, so not a good look. All right, you're going to get fat. If you want to get fat, eat sugar. Okay, go to Krispy Kreme. Eat those cupcakes, those donuts. That's how you get fat. Okay. Now, my cousin Marcus asked me, and he texted me one time, and he asked me, he was like, what is going on? Because I'm having like clotting issues, and I didn't want this to lead to anything that went wrong with his heart. So I asked him, and I was trying to ask him questions, and then he told me, and I was like, there's nothing that he's doing that would cause this. And then I asked, what are you eating? And then he said he was eating sugar. At almost, I think it was breakfast and dinner, he was eating sugar along with proteins. Now, if you go back, that causes something called agglutination in products. Okay. So that means that your blood gets sticky, and it's very easy to form a clot in your body, in your arteries. If that happens in your heart, you have a heart attack. If it happens in your head, you call it a stroke. So I didn't want that happening to my cousin, and I didn't want it to happen to anybody who was in earshot of me telling them this. So that's two things you do not mix. What's the traditional breakfast in America? Pancakes, sugar with syrup, sugar. The pancakes themselves are carbs, sugar. And what do you eat with them? Bacon, protein, eggs, protein. You have put two of the worst things you could ever put together into your body as an everyday meal for the average person. I'm going to venture to guess that that's why a very prominent hockey player, I'm not going to mention his name, all right, I'm going to guess that at 27 years old, him having cardiac arrest, I'm going to assume that wasn't supposed to happen. I doubt if that runs in his family. But if you are lacking selenium and copper and calcium and potassium in your bloodstream, your heart will be weak and it will fail on you, especially if you have no nutrients in your body and you pick up the activity. What do you think is going to happen? Pregnant women, when you're pregnant, you have to put back the nutrients 3 times more than your baby absorbs from you, because you have to have enough nutrients to run your own physiology and run your baby's physiology and run the exchange between the two physiologies. That takes a lot of nutrients, a lot of energy. But what does mom do? She says, I'm eating for 2. That's not a problem as long as you're supplementing heavily. But if you're eating for 2 and thinking that the eating is nutrition, even if you're eating all organic, you'll never get there. There's not enough nutrients in the food in order for you to get there. All right, don't take my word for it. Go read The Lancet, the Journal for the American Medical Association, the Journal of Epidemiology, all right, the New England Journal of Medicine. Go read some real medical articles where they'll actually just go down to the bottom. They'll summarize it all for you. If it's too complicated, the language is too complicated in the article, just go down to the abstract at the bottom, and that's where they give the summary of how this works, how this article works. And when you read it, in most of the articles, it's going to tell you that your food is deficient in nutrition, and therefore you must supplement in order to get your nutrients. Why do you think people are having heart attacks at 49? Why are people actually having strokes at 30? It's supposed to be impossible, but it's happening. So can we change that? Some of us will. Some of us who are actually like proactive in this chat, we're going to change something. But can we care about the rest of the world, even if part of that world is in our family and they won't listen to a word that we say? Do we try to pull them out? Do we try to Harriet Tubman them and knock them out and drag them across the finish line with us? Or do we let them suffer and die because they refuse to listen? That's the dilemma I got. It's just pulling me because there's some people, like my cousin Marcus, he'll call and he'll ask a question. He'll call and he'll find out. He'll call for other people. So he's done that several times. He'll call for other people. But on the other side, when you got a family member who you know you can help, and then they're looking at you like, you ain't no doctor. Why would I listen to you? My doctor said, and my doctor said I should do this, and my doctor said I should take that. Why would I listen to you? I'm not telling you to disobey your doctor. I'm telling you to take care of your physiological needs because your body requires certain things. The doctor is giving you drugs, something your body does not require. The only thing you can get from a doctor is for him to repair an acute injury that is happening to you that might kill you today or next week. Okay? Other than that, you should be supplementing, getting your life right, changing your diet, increasing your activity, getting circulation going, and supplementing heavily, that gets your health back. Not taking a series or a battery of drugs, not doing a Z-Pack every week, not laying in the hospital and being drugged or shot up with morphine every single month. If it's an emergency, fine. But if it's not, you're going to the wrong place. You go to your kitchen to get your nutrients. Don't go anywhere else. Go out, order it, go out and get it, but get it in your house, all the nutrients you need in order to make this work. This body, take care of it. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to see if I got a few more. All right, MSM scientifically is known as the methylsulfonyl methane. In Liam's terms, MSM is a natural and safe form of organic sulfur, the kind your body can absorb and use. MSM is delivered from many raw foods. Now, you can actually derive that from grinding up flaxseed and cottage cheese. That's where you get the sulfate. You can get that. That's the compound that's formed when you actually mix cottage cheese and the organic flaxseed oil. So just to give you guys a little tip on that one. Okay, Frenchie. All right, answering Raymond. Good stuff, good stuff. Cynthia, look at this. All right, Cynthia's in here. She is heavy on the comments. My goodness, thank you, Cynthia, helping out. Okay, so we got LPI. Okay, LPI 1. All right, what's going on? We see you in here. All right, so I see more people are coming in. Maybe they got back from their Valentine's Day dinner and now they're joining us. All right, very good. So let's get a few more comments in here, but let's do this. Let's ask you guys a question about our topic, and I want to see some answers over here. Okay, now, drug addicts, same. Legal drug addicts or regular on the street drug addicts, they're both basically the same. So I want to know about this question I just asked a few minutes ago about your family. What do you do if you know you can help your family member, but they won't take your advice because they don't think you're qualified, because they're listening to their doctor, whatever the reason? What do you do about that? Okay, so let me know in the chat. So as quickly as you guys can, let me know in the chat. I'm going to just yell out the answers for what you guys have. All right, so Clementina says they're drug addicts, leave them. All right, so let me see. So Clementina is taking up a lot of space with these faces. My goodness. All right, so Bert says keep my mouth shut. Bert, that's what I'm doing right now. I tried to force it on them thing earlier, and it does not work. Even when it's major, it doesn't work. Especially when it's major, it doesn't work. So Bert says keep the mouth shut. Okay, so Sarah's daughter says live by example. I do that one too. So I keep my mouth shut and I let them see the results, because most of my family, they want to lose weight and they're trying to figure out how to do so. And I'm not going to tell them to lose weight. I'm not going to send them a PDF with a weight loss guide in it, because then they'll be like, what you trying to say? All right. So that kind of stuff. I'm just saying that I leave it alone. I lead by example. I make my videos like this, and they will see that cousin Alvin looks like he's doing pretty good. What can I do for that thing? See, I like that lead by example thing. All right. So pray for them. Okay. I'll go with that. Okay. Simple, because they like drugs. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Frenchie, you never said a truer words. That is correct. All right. Andrew says, I don't know what to do anymore about family who don't want to hear, so I've given up. All right. Now, giving up sometimes is a good thing, because all you have to do is keep leading, like they said, by example. And I think they'll come around, because once they see your example, they'll have to ask the question, he's not going through this. He's not doing. Why am I going to the hospital every week? Why do I have 20 medications in my cabinet? He don't have nothing. So how you do that? How'd you do that, man? So I think that's the way it's going to have to work into the future. But until then, you can't ask, you can't advise, you can't suggest, you can't even hint. I just sit back, and even though I know I'm the expert, I know I got experience, I know I can get rid of your diabetes, all right, but I'll just sit there and I'll be like, okay, that's interesting. I'm glad that you did that. All right. Oh, you went to the doctor. Okay, I understand. So, and what did they tell you? Oh, they just put you on metformin. Okay, all right. So how's it working? Not that good. Okay. All right. So, okay, well, how your kids doing? All right. So that's how the conversation is going to go, because you guys know that they are not trying. They're just trying to give you their story. You have to learn the difference of discernment between what somebody is telling you so they can just get something off their chest. So it's a story that they just like to tell. And when somebody asks a question and you can tell they're looking for help. Because you could tell when somebody is when they just keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, they're just trying to tell you a story. But when they talk and then they stop and they end it with a question like, man, I just don't know what I'm doing. I just don't know what to do. That's when they're looking for help. They're not going to come out and say, come and take me as a client. All right. They're not going to say that. They're going to actually give their little 2 cents, and they're going to just try to barely hint it, because nobody likes to admit that they're in trouble. So they'll give you a little lifeline to let you know, I need help. So they'll just, I don't know, what you do for you. What would you do if you were in my situation? They'll ask a question like that. And that's when, now you can drop it on them. Now you can pull them in. But slowly. Don't just all of a sudden they say, well, what can I do? Well, I got a 200-page report right here, and you need to hurry up and come on with me, and we can go running around the block, and we'll do all this stuff together, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be great, and we're going to just get rid of your whole disease. What do you think? And they're going to be like, peace. Ho. I said, no, brother. I'm sorry I said anything. I'll catch you later. So that's what it's going to be. It's slow steps, easing them in. All right. So like when your baby, when you got your little 2-year-old, they can't talk. They don't know what they're doing, but they're holding your favorite vase that your grandmother gave you. All right. What do you have to do? Oh, hold on. Timmy. Oh, Timmy, bring it here. All right, slowly, bring it here. So that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to slowly reel them in so that you can actually get the information into them that you need. Okay, let me see. Oh, wait a minute. This is good. LL said, I tried to tell my family about coffee enemas and to do the keto diet, and they don't want to hear it, or they think I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm one who lost 50 pounds before. So he's actually showing them results, showing them what he's done. He's telling them the protocol, but they're like, you crazy. You put Folgers up your butt? What? All right, who does that? What is wrong with you? LL, are you some kind of sick freak? Huh? See, that's what they're thinking in their minds. But they're like, no, man, I ain't gonna do nothing like that, man. I ain't stick some up my butt. Are you crazy? Now, I used to think like that in the beginning before I knew anything. I was like, who gonna stick a rubber tube up your butt? But now I'm doing it like once every 2 weeks, once every month. All right, because I love having my liver clean because it supplies me with a hell of a lot of energy, and I like my colon cleansed out because then I don't build up these little diverticuli in my large intestine. And if you don't know what a diverticuli is, it's a little pouch that sits on either side all the way down your large intestine. Well, seeds and stuff get stuck in those pouches, and insoluble fiber gets stuck in there, and skin grows over it, and now you have rotting food, which is why your intestines smell so bad when you do a number 2, when you defecate. So if that is the case, why it stinks so bad, why wouldn't you clean out that rotting food that's rotting in your digestive system? Why wouldn't you clean that out? Well, it's because when you think about having to stick a tube up your butt, it turns you off. You don't want to realize the health benefits because it sounds weird. But when you do it, now you feel the difference, and now you want to do it because you know it'll bring you a tremendous health benefit. All right, I'm going to tell you this. Shooting coffee up your butt can save your life. Just ask Dr. Max Gerson, who helped stage 4 cancer patients get rid of it with that very protocol. All right, so there you go. Let me see. Frenchie, wait a minute. Frenchie, where'd you go? Yes, I love indeed healing. There you go. All right, LL says, I give them information and pray that they use it. Okay, so and that's all you can do, LL. You're doing the right thing. I don't keep quiet all the time on my family members. When I hear them talking about health, it seems like it's almost like they want to keep their disease because they feel like they're in some kind of disease club where they can get together and swap their diseases and swap their germs and stuff. It just seems that way. All right, so I just don't get it, but when they get it, then I'll be ready to give it to them. Okay, we'll put it that way. Okay, let me see. Energy is contagious. My family always asks me why I have so much. I tell them what I eat and send them email links to my protocols. Aha! There you go. So she gives them the information too. Cynthia, on the slide. Aren't you sneaky? All right, very nice. All right. So accurate, the UFO network. There, welcome back, UFO. I haven't seen you in a while. Very good. If you were a millionaire, I guarantee that they will listen to you. You know what, fairies? I think you're right. Because when people have money, for some reason, and it's unjustified, for some reason, people listen to you. All right. Because if you're gifted in one area, they automatically feel that you're gifted in another area. As you guys can see, I'm in my studio at home. I'm not in like on YouTube. I'm not sitting on the edge of my bed. I'm not in a bedroom. I'm not up against the plain white wall and stuff like that. I have built me a small little miniature studio here that I can actually broadcast in because that's why I wear a tie. It's part of the message that I want to give, professionalism. Now, it's part of the knowledge I want to convey. You guys can know that I know about the human body. I know about all the 11 systems of the body, all the different ways in which they interact with each other. And that's what I'm fascinated by. And that's what I'm just learning every single day, trying to get better and better at trying to learn those parts of the body and how they interact, not just the parts, but how they work together. And when you introduce a certain this and a certain that to the body, how does that change? And I'm interested in stuff like that. And it makes me keep going as far as knowledge. So let me see here. So very good, very good. So I don't know. I think that might have to be a goal of mine, just so people will listen. So today I'm going to put that on my calendar. Okay, so I got a calendar over there. I'm going to put that on my calendar. Okay, so I got a board here. I got a calendar there. We're going to put it on both. So fairies, thank you for the motivation. We're actually going to do that. Cynthia actually suggested that to me a while ago, and I have to take it seriously starting today. So we're going to start moving towards that, and I'll let you guys know when it happens. Okay, so no kidding, no BS. I'm going to go after it, and we're going to see if that makes a difference in getting people to listen to you. However, in what comes with that is a target that I might put on my back, because the more people listen to you, the more influence you have, the more you stop people from using their traditional methods, then that causes people with money to try to come after you, sometimes for your life. So you got to think about stuff like this, but I'm going to keep going and I'll see what happens after that. But hopefully I am going to live a very long and healthy, prosperous life. All right, let's see here. B14 Life says, I pray for them because unless they want to help, they will never listen to what you have to say. Facts. Whenever the doctors say go for them, they always say, let me ask my doctor about what I just said. Okay, now that's true. They always wanted to ask their doctor about what you said. First of all, the doctor is versed in cut, burn, and poison. All right, cut, surgery, burn, radiation, poison, drugs. So if that is their method, that's what they learned in medical school. When you tell them about changing your diet and take hyper supplementation and running, exercising, jogging, stuff like that, I want you to, the two planes of thought are starkly different. Therefore, you will never get them to converge or agree. So what you have to do is wait until they ask you about something natural, because they're going to see. The medical system is the same everywhere. They're going to see that taking drugs only makes you sicker. If you give drugs to a healthy person, what happens? They get sick. So what happens? They only get sicker. Your physiology changes or stops when you put a pill in your mouth. I didn't say supplement. I said pill, drug. So if that changes your physiology, it has to change it for the worse, because it was never supposed to be in there in the first place. Now, if you're going to do this for a short term, antibiotics, painkillers, because you're coming off of surgery, that's different. Okay, you're going to do that for maybe a month, maybe 2 months. You're done. You're over it. You're not going to take it again. Your body will flush it from your system, and you will never have it in your system again unless that same thing happens. However, if you guys are going to the hospital, all right, and you're trying to get well, if you're trying to reverse a disease, supplements, diet, exercise, certain protocols, that's what's going to get you back healthy. And they don't teach nutrition in medical school. It's a 1-week class out of 8 years in college and 4 years of residency. 1 week of nutrition. And it's basically a blow-off course. Nobody believes that an orange will solve your problems. Nobody believes that watermelon has any nutritional value. Nobody is trying to put kale in a smoothie to try to fix anything. But does it? Hell yes, it does. Okay. And ask somebody who's been doing it. Don't go ask somebody who's in the medical field, does this work? They don't know a damn thing about nutrition. They don't know a damn thing about kale. They don't know a damn thing about chard. They don't know a damn thing about certain herbs. All right. Dragon's claw, stuff like that. Arrowroot. They don't know about rubicon. They don't know about stuff like this. Certain plants, herbs that do certain things, take away certain inflammation, detox the body. They don't know anything about that. All they know is what they were taught in school, and it's not their fault, but they're doing it. So you can't later know. You have somebody like me tell you, and then all of a sudden you're playing dumb, like you never heard of nutrition. You never heard it could do that. Yeah, you did. You knew, but you're a smart man. You're a smart woman. Don't try to jerk me around and act like you didn't know what was going on. You did. You just continued to do it because you had student loans, right? Come on, admit it, right? Right. Okay, so let's see it. What do we got here? Oh, now this is a good one. Andrew says, I'm 60. I feel better than when I was in my 30s. Why? Because I stopped listening to my doctor and started listening to my body. I now do weight training 4 times a week. All right, Andrew, I'm 4 or 5 times a week myself. I love it. So we're doing about the same thing. Now, I am 43 years old. I feel like I'm 20, about 25, and 25 is the best time I've ever felt in my life. I feel like I'm stronger now than I was at 25, and I feel like I have unshakable self-confidence right now. So I think when you eat better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. So I'm actually of the school of education to solve everything. But here's the key. Nobody said education could be taught to you by the homeless guy on the corner. Education can be taught to you by your students. All right. I learn more from my students than I ever do from studying. Okay. So, and well, I can't say that. The average person could, but I can't say I study a lot. Okay. But I learn a lot from my students in the classroom, and they have no idea that I'm just picking up everything from them because I like to learn. My brain is always going. I'm always talking to myself. I'm always doing something. And people might think I'm crazy. I don't care. I am trying to learn. So that's what it is. Okay. So here we go. Yes, yes, yes. Look at that. Frenchie said the creator has given us every plant and seed for healing the body. Very good. All right. So that says a whole lot. Yes. My doctor had to step up for the, wait a minute, step up for the fall. I surprised him by cutting his ass loose. Oh my. Okay, so Raymond, he went all the way gangster. He says, Doc, you're fired. All right, you're out of here. I love it. So yes, yes, okay. All right, love your confidence. Good. All right. So, all right. So my doctor, wait a minute. My doctor had me set up for the fall. Oh, don't they? Don't they? Because see, this is what's going to happen. You follow their advice to the T, to the letter, and then all of a sudden, when it doesn't work, what do? They blame you. Ain't that messed up? They blame you. So I'm not going to keep you all too much longer here, but I just have to say thank you, Cynthia Friedman, for helping me out. You've been on here, and I know you never know what time I'm going to get on. I usually try to make it around the same time, but today we were enjoying a little Valentine's Day get together with my wife, so I got on a little bit later. But we are going to do this again next Friday. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day. And if I skipped your question, don't worry about it. Cynthia probably handled it already. But if you didn't, just come back next Friday and we'll get to your question and we'll see what you guys have to say about that. All right. So if you guys want to get into the diabetes course, if you have someone in your family who is battling or dealing with diabetes, the course is open right now. And I'm not sure, but I think the promo code is still good for the diabetes course. So if you guys want to get in it, I would say get in it while you can, while the offer is still good. If not, I'm going to make sure that it's in the description right after this video because I don't see it on there. So I'll put it right in the description under this video to see if you guys want to take part in that. If not, don't worry about it. You guys try to do the best that you can with your life. If you don't go through me, go through somebody, but get the help you need in order to get yourself back to being an optimum human being. Because if you don't, people will take advantage of you, and then you'll fall back in the hands of what they call this medical health management system. Notice nobody's talking about curing you. They just want to manage you for the rest of your life. And that's all about that green. All right, that is it. Let's go ahead and shout you guys out over here. Okay. So, Dalissa Macon, look at this. Happy Love Day. Look at that. All right, we got some in here. Okay, you guys go ahead and throw your names in the chat. I'll shout you guys out, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, so we got Frenchie in the house. Frenchie is always good. B14 Life, I love seeing you. Cynthia Friedman, be well. Everybody have a beet smoothie for V-Day because beets are purple, and that goes perfectly with Valentine's Day. Thank you, Cynthia. Okay, Denise Rutherford, have a great weekend. Alvin J, thank you. LL Lewis, good stuff. Clementina, thank you. And look, Clementina didn't even put all them faces up there this time. Clementina, I know you just want to stand out. Go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter. Okay, so Marcus Megan says, love you. Marcus, big cousin, I love you right back. Tell Lisa and the family I said hello and I love them too. They are wonderful, and I can't wait to see you guys when you come down, okay? So we got Denise, okay? Andrew, always good to have you, Andrew. Frenchie is always in here throwing it down. We got Artie. All right, Artie, I remember you from last time. The UFO, I've seen you before too. I know. I see you in here a lot. Money Machine Gun back in the house. Minister Slow Stroker, I haven't seen him in a while. Somebody get him back on here. So he's got the craziest name on here because he's mixing the ministry with sex. And that's not right, but he did it. So there you go. We got Stina Lynn. All right, so I missed it. All right, don't worry, Ted. They're just going to process it and they're going to put it back on YouTube so you can just go back and watch the replay. That's all you have to do. So no hard feelings. All right, we'll see you back in here next Friday at around 3:30, 3:45. Okay, so there you go. I'm smart. All right, so Jeff Haynes says I'm smart because I listen to the wisdom. Jeff, thank you for that. That's a vote of confidence. I like that. Thank you. Love y'all to the moon and back. Oh, Frenchie, I like that. That's a good outro right there. I heard that somewhere before. I love it. So, Cassandra Jones, have a good night. Okay, it looks like nobody else is throwing their name in the chat. So, Susan H. All right, I remember you. So, very good. Thank you, Susan, and thank you for asking such a good question. The rest of you who are in there, E-Rope, I see you in here. All right. So when you guys are all said and done with it, take care of yourselves and don't allow anybody to try to dictate your health. Remember, you are in control. I don't care what kind of jacket they're wearing. I don't care that they have a white coat. I don't care that they have pins on their pocket. They have an ID. They have a stethoscope around their neck. They're wearing a nice button-down shirt with some Dockers and some topsiders. I don't care about any of that. Your doctor's uniform doesn't mean anything to me. What matters to me is that the person knows that you get help from about physiology, and they can help you get rid of a certain disease, meaning get you a direct result in the direction that you want to go in. You guys have a fantastic Valentine's Day. I'm out of here. This is Alvin J, the most passionate non-doctor on the internet. You guys have fun on this Friday. Have fun this Saturday. And of course, you guys see you in church on Sunday. Okay? We'll talk to you later. That's the end of it. Peace.